All right, no questions. Okay, right now I'm gonna invite Lynn and share with us. Before I pass the mic to her, I'm gonna ask her some question. Why? I mean, it's a last minute invitation. I just want to ask her to share a little bit on what's working and what's not working, and so that you can take away some maybe some valuable tips from her on what's working for her. And yeah, Lynn, how are
Hi,
you?
I'm
Hi,
okay.
let me
I
let me
I
spot
have
you up. Okay, yeah.
yeah.
All right. So tell us, Lynn, how much progress have you made since day one?
You know that when I first started this program, I weighed almost 85 kilos, right?
Yeah.
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 And in the beginning, because I have never ever done weights or resistance training and all that, that wasn't my thing. I always thought that if you did that, you'll get all those like muscles like Arnold, and I didn't want that.
Yeah.
So I was more into cardio. I did Zumba because I love to dance, and like you said, that was the American thing to do. But I thought that was good enough, and I noticed like even though I used to go for my classes almost every day, sometimes I even went for 2 classes in a day.
How many
My
hours was that?
usually one session is about 45 minutes, so 2 sessions is about
1 hour
almost 12.
plus, right?
Yeah,
Almost 2 hours.
yeah,
And
and
your weight was 85 kilos. Sorry, 85 kilos.
yeah, and
Okay.
that's just Zumba, and I like to go cycling and stuff like that too. I was active. I thought being active meant why wasn't I going down? And I'm not the sort like who's a glutton. I
Mm.
I eat to live, not live to eat. So
Mm.
I was just wondering what went wrong. And when I came across your advert on Instagram and all that, and I was like, looking at all these success stories. I followed you for quite a while. I'm one of those people who was one of your silent followers, and I thought, hey, since I've been doing this on my own for several years, like I was on Herbalife, I was on all these protein shakes and keto diet, Atkins, intermittent fasting, and everything. And yes, I'm not saying that it didn't work. It did,
Mm.
but it worked to a certain point, and then it went up, and then it went down, and I was just like plateauing. And I thought to myself, okay, let's give this one a try. And I know to some people it might have been an investment, I mean, a hefty investment, but I was thinking this is going to be an investment for myself, for my own health and all that. And when I first joined, it was like a shocker because I never thought I would have to do resistance training. And the first few sessions with Bruce and all, I couldn't walk. My body felt like as if it got hit by a bus and went under a train. And I cried. I
Really?
cried and cried. Huh?
Well,
And
you
I thought,
cried.
and I told Bruce, I don't know whether he told you this. I told Bruce, I felt that you were like a dictator.
I was
And
a
so
dictator.
I did.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
like you were asking me to do the steps, and you were asking me to do the weight training and then do the cardio. I was like, what the hell, But I'm the sort. I mean, I'm very disciplined, and my motto is, no retreat, no surrender.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah, like Chuck Norris. But anyway, yeah, I went in with that mindset, and I was thinking, yeah, like I have this fear because I've been in and out of hospitals, and that is traumatic. I think, like you said, maybe it's in the mind, but I know what I went through, so I
Yeah.
just don't want to go back to hospitals anymore. And
Mm.
I thought, okay, if I can't do it all, at least I'll give it my best. So I focused on like not only the strength training with Bruce, I signed up for another gym, like and I wanted
Yeah.
to do resistance training apart from the ones that I did with
Yeah.
Bruce. And from being somebody who used to like spend money on stuff, shopping and all that, I now go to Fitness Concept and I like buying like dumbbells, kettlebells.
Oh, wait, just want to put a frame to this. So currently, what's your body weight? You started off at 85 kilos. What's your body weight right now?
My current body weight as of this morning is 72.9.
Wow. So
Yeah.
from 85 to 72.9, that's awesome.
Yeah.
And that's over about 12 kilos, right? About
Yeah.
10 to 12 kilos.
I mean, I used to wear sizes double, triple XL.
Mm-hmm.
Like usually I wore 18 to 20.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I showed you like recently, a few days ago, I went shopping and I can fit into a size M.
Wow.
Yeah.
3XL to M size. Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yeah. So
And I'm just
good.
curious, please tell them, how many inches did you lose on your waist?
This is embarrassing. I think my waist was around 40 when I first started.
Yeah.
And now I can fit size 30 jeans, even though I mean I used to measure tape, it's now 32 inches.
That's 10 inches. Congratulations.
Yeah.
You should give a thumbs up. Give a thumbs up to congratulate Lean. Awesome. Okay, let's get straight into some practical tips. What do you think? What do you think is the biggest? What is the thing that is working the most for you right now, for everyone, so that they can learn from you?
Discipline. It's all in the mind. Because if you say it's hard, yes, it will get harder. What you need to do, to me, I mean, like for how I tackled it is, yes, it's hard, but give it a shot. Give it your best and don't give up. You know, it's like if you say, oh, it's too hard, you know, I'm not gonna do this, I can't do this. That's what you're gonna believe.
Yeah.
You know? So if you're gonna believe that, you're never gonna get started. You have to think, yes, it's hard, but choose your heart. Do it, you know? You pay for it. So take action, you know, make it worth your money.
Yeah. That's mindset, right? Mm-hmm.
And I know, I mean, you can tell everybody, okay, you have to do this and this exercise every day. But in the end, it's up to us, you know, it's up to me. It's like if I just do whatever and just for the sake of doing it, I'm not gonna see any results. So it's like, what's the point of paying so much if you're not gonna put in your effort? It's not, you can't, I mean, I have to say this to everybody, you can't blame the coach because the coach can guide you, but it's on you. You have to take the action. You have to do the things. You have, no matter how hard, you got to put in the work. So it's all in the mind and stay disciplined. I know it's like, you know, like it's like a whole change of lifestyle and all that. Like maybe you used to eat like porridge and whatever, but to me, I'm the sort like, okay, coach gives me this plan, nutrition plan, eat this. And I'm not the sort like, I paid for this, I'm not gonna question it. He knows his, he knows his stuff. I'm gonna follow. And if I don't understand anything, I'll message or I'll ask and all that. But what he gives, you follow. If you don't like it, you can tell him and all that, but it's on you. It's not on anybody else. It's on you.
Thank you for that. Yeah. So that's a mindset tip, right? Number one, discipline. Okay. Now, before we move on, let's hear from you. How many daily steps are you hitting right now? How many steps average every day?
Well, on my good days when I'm not running around, you know, I have to go to Putrajaya or outstation and all that, I would get at least 12K.
12,000.
Yeah. But on like days where I can focus, you know, I can do this and all, like yesterday, I hit 17,000 over. And then like the day before that, I hit 19,000 something.
Wow. 19,000.
Yeah.
19,000. That's incredible. So a lot of people say it's kind of hard to hit the steps, can't even reach 6,000 steps, right? So what would be your advice? How are you able to hit 19,000 just like that? What's your tip? What's your secret?
For me, you break it down. you don't do it at one shot, you know.
Mm.
It's like when you wake up in the morning, like for me, I wake up in the morning, I send my son off to school at 7 o'clock. So
Yeah.
the moment I send him off, I get down from my car and I walk to
Mm.
the park behind his school and I do several rounds. And you know,
Mm.
I can cover at least 5,000, 5 to 8,000 already there. If you do it, if you're not talking to anybody else.
Mm.
But
Mm.
even if you don't do that, like you can, like, throughout the day, like for me, I have a stepper. So while I'm having meetings online, there I am, like, you don't have the video
Yeah.
on, but
How
I'm
much
on
did you spend on this? How much did you spend on the stepper?
the stepper.
Don't need to give a price. Just give a range. Few hundred ringgit. Few
Yeah.
hundred ringgit for a stepper. Those of you are having long hours meeting, consider one. Okay. Some more. How many?
Watching TV.
While you're watching TV, right? Awesome. Stepper. Few hundred ringgit. Great investment. Increase your steps. Need steps. Now, my question to you. On an average, 19,000 steps. Let's say on a high record, 19,000 steps. How many minutes roughly are you spending to hit walking to hit 19,000 steps roughly?
Well, I time myself. Usually I notice I can do like 1,000 steps in 10-15 minutes.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm. Okay.
But
1,000
I can
steps in
throughout the day.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. So 30 minutes would be about 2,000 steps at your pace, right? So do you do a mental calculation or do you have a tracker to
Yeah, I
track
have
the steps?
the watch, but
Okay.
usually sometimes I don't even wear the watch because I have this rash thing and all that. But I do know when I do wear it and all. Like I can say for example, I'm watching a show, a Netflix show. Say that's about 1 hour. One
Mm.
hour you can get how many thousand already? Half. Like you can get at least 10 to
Are
12.
you tired? Is it tiring?
No, because
No.
my mind's not on it. Like I'm watching, my mind's on the telly,
Okay.
but my feet are moving.
So why would people say that they're tired from work and they can't get the steps? Uh, why is that? How would you respond to that?
I would say that maybe because you've been lounging on the sofa and then like you're not keeping up your form. Like people, we all have lived through the pandemic, and maybe that lifestyle, being not say a sloth, but being couch potato has sort of like carried on even post pandemic. But right now, I think that's not an excuse.
Okay.
Because you can go out, even if you don't want, if you don't want to go out, you can sit in front. You can turn on the televisions. Like for me, I put my stepper in front of the television, and I just do it, and I don't think about it. And like by the time I'm done, like, hey, I've already hit 17,000.
Wow, awesome, love it. And question on your training, how many days are you training at the gym in a week?
With Ruth, I train twice a week, and on my own,
Yourself,
I go 3 to 4 times. That is just like the other gym, and even then, I go to the park. I do my brisk walk, jog, and sometimes it's like I feel like I have so much energy now, and like I have those tires. So it's like, I know you said like, oh, if it's too easy, if the weights are too light for you and all, you won't feel it. Yeah, I don't feel some of the smaller ones. So like when you carry a 7 kilo, 10 kilo tire, you can feel which muscle groups that you're working on. Like when you lift up, like I know, like I do have kettlebells too. I do the kettlebell swings and all, but to me, that is kind of like kacang already. So
okay.
like I get more exercise from using the tires.
Question.
Yeah.
How come you're not worried about building muscles anymore?
because I know that I won't look like Arnold.
Okay. Okay. Um, okay. So 19,000 steps, train about 5 to 6 times a week. How's your nutrition like? How's your eating like? How's your appetite right now? How much food are you eating? How do you
Well,
feel about the diet?
I
Yeah.
go according to that nutrition plan. I go everything. There are times when, like for example, if I'm working out twice in a day, especially like when I have the session with Bruce and then I go home, maybe I might nap. Like on Sunday, I had 2 hours of training.
Mm,
And 1 hour was, I mean, like 1 hour plus was just with Ruse. And then like you
mm,
came in, you saw that me and Hazi, we went on because we were on
mm,
our reserve energy and we just wanted to like, we were like energizer bunnies. And and and, and we just went on and we burned about, she burned about 1,000 over. I burned about almost 600, 700 like that. And then I went home, I had my lunch, I had about 45 minutes nap, and I woke up, I was still like, hey, I want to do something. So I dragged my husband to go cycling. And he was like telling me, yang you ni banyak ulat nangka tau tak? And I'm like telling him, you gotta keep up, honey. But yeah, when I get really hungry, that it's like I get to be like this, like when, like I told you, like bloodthirsty vampire type of hungry. So and you allow me to go for my Subway, and I feel okay, that immediately satisfies that craving, and I just stick to the diet plan that you give me.
mm. And your appetite, how is it like now? Are you finding it hard to finish food? Are you constantly getting hungry? Are you bored of the nutrition plan? How do you handle your cravings?
I surprisingly, I don't, I mean, I've always been like a healthy eater, so I don't really have cravings and all
Mm,
that. Yeah,
mm,
but I think if you go according to what is on the plan, you'll feel full. But when you feel really hungry, I notice I feel I get really, really like starving type of hungry after workouts. So I just like, like you allow me to have snacks like the green apples and the almonds and bananas and all that. So I'll do that. And I,
mm,
I noticed like when I eat healthy, I don't crave junk. I mean, I never
mm,
really crave junk, but I
mm.
don't have cravings for junk.
Yeah. So back then you're saying back then you were doing Herbalife and you were sort of restricting food.
Yeah.
Were you hungry compared to now?
Yeah. Back
The
then
diet was mm,
it was like they put me on the extreme. I
oh,
had to replace 2 meals. So I usually replace breakfast and dinner. I was only
mm,
allowed to have lunch, and even lunch, I mean, it was like a quarter, quarter, half. So quarter rice,
oh
quarter,
gosh.
yeah, but
And
half was the veg.
yeah, yeah,
And
that's
I
suku suku separuh, right?
uh-uh. and
Okay.
and
And compared to now?
it made me dizzy. It made me like sluggish.
Mm, mm,
I felt like I was having a brain fog or something.
mm. And
And
compared to now?
now I feel good. I feel mentally sharp, and
Mm,
I'm like dabbling in lots of things. And then like my mood, I'm in a good mood and all that.
mm.
And everybody, I mean, my friends are like asking, why are you so hyper? Why are you so happy? I'm like, because I feel good.
Okay. Okay. And last question for fun of it. So you want to share with us what kind of comments are you getting from your husband? Share the ones that you can share, not
Yeah.
the ones you can't share. Okay.
Last time he used to make fun of me. I mean, we have this relationship where we're goofy and all that. He would say, Young, when I married you, you know, we made the figure 11, and then you came bulat. He said that he's the number one, I'm the zero. We made a figure 10. Now he's like, he calls me hot mama.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. And what comments are you getting from the children?
My kids, like my daughter, she's 6. she sees me working out, and she Stable also wants to do the same thing. So I bought for her kettlebell.
Wow. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. And any other comments you're getting from friends?
My friends say that they're kind of jealous. They're like, oh, like we're like and everything. I'm like, because I mean, like right now I'm a stay-at-home mom, but even though that I have so many things going on and all that, and I'm a trader, full-time trader, so it's like I do stay up still, but I do get my sleep and all, at least 7 hours. But it's like they're wondering, like when I see the other moms in school and all that, and they're like, how come you have so much energy to go for all these walks, to go to the gym, to go, this, that? I'm like, because, I mean, to me, it's a change in lifestyle, it's a change in mindset. And it's what you tell yourself. If you tell yourself, I want to be healthy, I can do this, my wellness, my health matters and all that, you start believing it. It's affirmation. And I do believe that what you put into your body, whether it be food, whether it be like the books you read or whatever, stuff that you watch and all that, it affects you. So to me, this is not just a fitness program for losing weight. It's my number one takeaway is it's sort of like a paradigm shift,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. Any last tip that you want to say to everyone here?
I have been there. I think, I mean, some of you may not know, I used to weigh post baby. I used to weigh 110 kilos. And I know what it felt like. I know, like, there were people who were mean, who were saying, oh my God, then you're like 1.7, meters tall, and you're so fat. When you move, when you walk, the ground shakes. So that hurt. And now those same people are like, oh my God, what happened to you? You lost so much weight, you look good, blah, blah, blah. And I just take it in my stride, it's, you cannot stop people from saying stuff, but you can take action and do things for yourself, change yourself, and just feel better.
Yeah. Awesome. Love it. Love it. You guys give some love to Lynn. Thank you so much for sharing some valuable tips. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay. So you got it. Hope you got some, hope you got some pro tips from Lynn, and charge you up for the week and continue to move forward. Make friends. Any questions you want to ask Lynn, you can shoot it on the chat, or you can post it on Facebook. Send a personal thank you to her if she says something that relate to you personally. And yeah, maybe she can reply from there and make some new friends. Okay. So with that, we close for the night, and I will see you next Monday. Awesome. Bye-bye. See you. Bye.